Good to see you guys. Dr. Ben here, Functional Medicine Centers. Let's come up with some health solutions today. We're going to let you know exactly what's going on with your thyroid and why it's probably not your thyroid. I hear this every single day. Women come in, especially women, because 8-to-1 ratio women to men with thyroid issues. Women come in all the time. They put down in their paperwork, it's my thyroid. It's my gut, it's my brain, but it's probably my thyroid. And so I'm going to tell you today, it's probably not your thyroid. It is probably not your thyroid that's the problem. It is going to be other systems in the body that are out of balance. So that's what I'm going to be going over today. Hope this makes sense. If you've got any questions at all, pop those down below. Hey, Paula, good to see you in West Virginia. Pop down where you're watching from as well. We get people all over West Virginia, Texas, California, Florida, North Dakota, all over the place. Love to see you guys. Share this with anybody that you know that is dealing with thyroid issues, because this is crucial. So many people just think that they can take their thyroid medication, boom, they're fixed. But guess what? That is not the solution. Over 20 million people, hey Katrina, over 20 million people are taking levothyroxine. Levothyroxine T4. But guess what? They still don't feel good. Hey Catherine, good to see you in Oklahoma. So here we go. We're going to get into exactly what goes on with the thyroid and why it's probably not your thyroid. Hey Amy in Pennsylvania. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what the thyroid gland does and how things can go haywire. So here's you all smiley today, and there's your thyroid gland. So your thyroid gland sits in your throat. Your thyroid controls metabolism. It keeps your body up and going. If somebody has low thyroid, they're going to be tired. They're going to be potentially overweight, hair falling out, cold easily, slower digestion, some things like that. If somebody's high thyroid, hyper, their heart's going to be racing. They're going to have a hard time gaining weight. Hey Angie in Kentucky, good to see you. So thyroid, crucial gland in the body, and yet tons and tons, millions, tens of millions of people are dealing with it. Well over 25 million people are on medication around the country. So just to get us orientated here, the pituitary tells the thyroid what to do, and that is TSH. So give me a thumbs up if you've seen TSH before, if you've had TSH run. Maybe it comes back off, maybe it comes back good. The doctor says it's fine, then it's not, and it's fine and not, and then they're playing this game of bouncing thyroid up, bouncing thyroid down. So there's some thumbs coming in. So TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Hey Sandy in Maine, great to see you. We're hitting almost all the corners so far. Good job, guys. Thyroid stimulating hormone is going to be a pituitary hormone that tells the thyroid what to do. So this is not a thyroid hormone, it's a pituitary hormone. Hey George, good to see you as well. Yes, adrenals definitely can play a role in there. Yeah, and there you are too, Cindy. You're taking the thyroid replacement and you're not really seeing a huge difference. And that's what we see all the time, because the doctors are going to be changing their prescription based off of what TSH is doing. So if your TSH is up, they're going to give you more thyroid hormone. If TSH is down, they're going to give you less thyroid hormone. But here's why it's not just a simple, it's your thyroid, give you more thyroid hormone and you're going to feel good. That's not the solution. Very rarely does that fix people and they're like, oh wow, now I'm perfect and everything's good. So the number one thing that we see that is going to be not thyroid is what we call Hashimoto's. And Hashimoto's, named after Dr. Hashimoto, way back in the early 1900s, and they've been looking at this for years and years, and there we go, and Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition. And then you go, well, that's a thyroid. But no, it's an autoimmune condition. Just like my mom's MS, where it was attacking the nerves, was not a nerve disease. It was an autoimmune disease that was attacking the nerves. And same thing here. Hashimoto's is not a thyroid disorder. It is a autoimmune disease that is attacking the thyroid. And potentially, there's two things, and here's a really important part for you to know as well. I just had a lady yesterday, we found she had both of these. Most people think Hashimoto's is attacking the thyroid, and that's it. But for a lot of people, it's actually also attacking. You want to check thyroglobulin. So there's TPO and there's thyroglobulin. Thyroglobulin is going to be the bus that transports T4 and T3 around the body. But guess what? If that bus is being attacked, then you're going to, hey, Dot in Nebraska there, if that bus is being attacked, you're going to shoot out the tire. You're not going to be able to transport it around the body. So most people think about Hashimoto's as just attacking the thyroid, but it's also one, it could be one or the other there. Hey, Trina in Michigan, great to see you. It could be one or the other. It could be attacking the bus, or it could be attacking the thyroid itself. And that's the big thing, because if you give all the T4, that's the levothyroxine, if you give all the T4 you possibly can, but the bus is broken down, it's like all the kids are ready, they got their backpacks ready to go to summer camp, but the bus is broken down. Nobody's getting to summer camp. And that's what's happening with Hashimoto's on the thyroglobulin side. And then you've got TPO, which is attacking the thyroid itself. And some of those people, if they've had Hashimoto's for 20 years and destroyed enough tissue, they may need to be on thyroid hormone replacement indefinitely, but they'll be able to slow down that damage and make some big changes. So number one reason why it's probably not your thyroid is that it's an autoimmune condition, and that's called Hashimoto's. Super easy to test, blood panel. If you do it through the cash labs, it's like $10. Hey Cindy, good to see you. It's like $10, $15 to run these Hashimoto's markers. Everybody should know. If you have low thyroid and you don't know if it's Hashimoto's, you need to test TPO and thyroglobulin. You got to beg, plead, steal, whatever you've got to do to get that tested, because you need to know. Hey Doris, good to see you. Snowing again, huh? You need to know if you are autoimmune or not, because here's the real problem. In over half the people that have autoimmune, Hashimoto's, they've got multiple. So there's a good chance that you might have autoimmune to the joints, rheumatoid arthritis. You might have autoimmune to the nerves, like my mom, MS, or platelets, or Hashimoto's. Can cause other things. That autoimmune can cause other things like lupus and all these different things. Hey Heather, good to see you as well. Yes, so Graves', same thought process. It's autoimmune even for Graves' disease. We have multiple patients right now dealing with Graves' disease. A little bit more challenging, a little bit more tricky, but we can get that as well. So Hashimoto's, number one reason why it's probably not your thyroid. Number two is that we have something called conversion, and it's going to be more of an under conversion. So this T4 comes out of the thyroid. 93% of your thyroid hormone is T4, and then T3, 7% of the thyroid hormone that comes out of the thyroid is T3. So what does that mean? Well, they call T3 the active usable form of thyroid. Hey Kayla, good to see you there. The active usable form of thyroid is T3. So we make, yep, there you go. Oh, you're hypo again. Congratulations, Kayla. So T4 is the main hormone produced, and it has to convert over to T3. T3 is the active, usable, good form, going to give you your get up and go, all those different things. What happens, though, is a lot of times people are taking that T4, that levothyroxine, and then they get excess T4, but they don't have enough T3. So this is why you have to look at the ratio of the T3 and the T4, and a lot of people have plenty of T4, but they're not converting to T3. So you could double, you could triple, you could quadruple the amount of T4 thyroid hormone that you have in your body, but you're not going to get enough T3, you're not going to get enough good usable thyroid hormone there. And it's a conversion issue. So we are under converting. Number one place, 60% of the conversion takes place in the liver, 20% takes place in the gut. So we've got to look at these other areas. That's why no matter what somebody comes in with, we're looking at their liver enzymes, we're looking at their gut, we're looking at all these different things. And so for many people, they have plenty of T4, not enough T3. We get that conversion better, and they're feeling way better. They're getting losing weight, a lot of different things. So if you're not converting, you've got to figure out why and fix that. So that's number 2. Number 1, Hashimoto's. Number 2, under conversion. And number 3, it's the pituitary. The pituitary, again up here, that's what kicks out TSH. So what we see a lot of times with people, and this is why you've got to look at all of your numbers. You've got to look at the Hashimoto's numbers. You've got to look at free and total T3 and T4. You've got to look at your reverse T3. You've got to look at all these different ones. Yes, Armor is both T3 and T4. Nature Thyroid, NP Thyroid, those are both T3 and T4. So the pituitary, this is where we're getting to your point, George. The pituitary also tells the adrenals what to do, and it tells the male and female hormonal system what to do. Master gland of the body. So sometimes if people have been under chronic stress, if their hormones are out of balance, all that, the pituitary will get fatigued. And that's what happens when we start seeing TSH. Instead of going high with hypothyroid, we actually see TSH low, even though the T3 and T4 are low. So think about it this way. The jockey, the pituitary, whips, that's TSH. TSH is the whip, whips the thyroid, which is the horse. So the jockey whips the horse to go faster. So pituitary whips with TSH, whips the thyroid. But if your TSH is low, if you're not whipping very hard, but the horse is running slow, it's usually because the jockey is tired. And so that's a big part of the problem, is we've got to correct these other imbalances, the hormones, the adrenals, everything else that are affecting the communication to that thyroid. So it's not just a simple slap you up with some levothyroxine and you're going to get fixed. I wish, or even some herbs or whatever we've got to give you. But you've got to look at the whole picture. So if you have not had your full thyroid exam done lately, all the markers, everything, drop us a line. You've got to get that done. You've got to know what is going on. You've got to calm this down. If you've got an autoimmune condition, you've got to figure it out. If your liver and gut are out of balance and you're not converting like you're supposed to, you've got to figure it out. If your pituitary is off, you've got to figure out why it is, why it's fatigued from the adrenals, from the female or male hormones, all these different things. You've got to figure out that underlying why. Otherwise, you'll never get better just by taking thyroid. All right, guys. Love having you on. If you've got any questions at all, pop those down below. We check these all the time. Hey, Mom, good to see you out there. We check these all the time, so we're looking at these messages. But if you've got questions on any of this, drop us a line, leave a message down below. Share this with anybody that you know that's dealing with thyroid issues. They need to get this idea. Heather's got a question here. Any ideas why after years of my Hashi not being regulated, all of a sudden regulated on its while I was pregnant? Yeah, absolutely. So Heather, many women, while they're pregnant, things kind of stabilize actually. I've seen lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, a lot of things calm down, and yet after that pregnancy, it's going to go haywire again. And that's a big problem. And hey, Eric, good to see you. Catherine, good to see you. So it's a big problem because most women, estrogenic events, like pregnancy, hormone replacement therapy, birth control, all that are going to drive autoimmunity more. So unless somebody's calming it down, I almost guarantee it's going to be worse after having that baby. So do everything you can now to get that better. All right, Heidi, great to see you. Yeah, share this with anybody that you know, and we love having you guys on these videos. Take care, everybody.